This is the best story so far in Absolute Power. And this Amazo Robot Death Charge, he's my favorite Amazo so far. You haven't met them all, but so far, this is my favorite. My name is Dorian, this is SCM Comics. We are continuing our coverage of Absolute Power with Task Force 7, number 2. So the story starts off with Rita, a Lhasa woman, being woken up. You see, she was knocked out. And when she was knocked out, she was huge, as you can see by her imprint in the beach. So on the next page, we see that as Robot Man waking her up. He's missing an arm. And Rita's like, what happened? And he's like, you seriously don't remember? She's like, it's somewhat coming back to me. So what happened is that they were testing out the submergible mode in their Doom Patrol vehicle. They came across Aquaman and Tempest fighting one of the Amazo robots. They go to help. He takes away their powers and he pretty much clapped their cheeks. So Beast Girl shows up with the right arm of Robot Man, talking about, does this belong to you? So Robot Man's like, yeah, I woke up just in time to see the Amazo robot take Aquaman away. So Beast Girl asks Rita that she has her powers, and she's like, no, how about you? Beast Girl's like, no, I don't have my powers either. Robot Man's like, I feel fine. And Rita's like, you don't really have powers, you're a robot. So Robot Man's like, are your powers gone too, Mr. Negative? He undoes his wraps on his hand and goes, positive. So right before they got their cheeks clapped, they do remember watching a broadcast of Amanda Waller pretty much saying that she's going to take care of the metahuman problem. So Tempest shows up with no powers, pretty much asking where Aquaman is. Robot Man lets him know that the Amazo robot took him back into the ocean. Tempest is like, that's not a good thing because Aquaman is half human with no powers, means he can't breathe underwater. So Tempest is like, if he just took Aquaman back into the ocean, he did this for one reason only. And they're like, well, what's the reason? To take over Atlantis. So now we cut to Atlantis and we see the citizens are being talked to by the Amazo robot. So he goes, for years you guys have coexisted peacefully with the surface dwellers, with just a few instances where your king decided that he wanted to do something stupid. Well, I'm here to make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid anymore. And as long as you guys don't get in my way, you can keep remaining living peacefully. But if you decide to test my hand, trust me, I am prepared for war as he unleashes an army of great white sharks on the Atlantean people. Now, the reason why he's so big is because he's using Elastigirl's powers, which, like, if you're trying to peacefully talk to these people, then why are you so big? And see, always the running gag with Aquaman is, oh, he talks to fish. This Amazo robot just got finished taking his powers and then using it to unleash an army of great white sharks. Like, why you gonna test Aquaman's gangster like that? So all of a sudden a trident comes out of nowhere and hits Death Charge, and we see it's Jackson Hyde, who is technically Aquaman. You see, Arthur Curry is technically just supposed to be the king, and he went to Jackson and was like, why don't you be Aquaman? So Jackson's like, just because you capture our king doesn't mean we're just gonna back down. So Death Charge is like, all right, no problem, and just takes his powers, tells him to give up, and Jackson's like, never. So then Death Charge is like, okay, and uses Negative Man's negative beam and pretty much takes him out. So the Amazo robot pretty much drops Aquaman. He's in like a force field cube. He's like, look, this does not have to escalate, but I am ordering you guys to this first. So the Doom Patrol shows up and Rita's like, so he's using Aquaman's aqua telepathy and Beast Girl's instinct manipulation to control these sharks. So the Beast Girl's like, it doesn't completely work like that. See, with sharks, it's like an on and off switch. Either kill or don't kill. And because he's using both of our powers at the same time, not only is he in the shark's head, but they're in his head too. So he has to fight millions of years of pretty much basic instinct that says kill and dominate. Because that's what sharks do. They kill and they dominate. And it's starting to rub off on him. As we see him screaming, don't make me have to tell you a second time. So Aquaman in the force field cube pretty much tells his people, look, don't fight back. Please don't fight back. Go ahead and stand down. You know, I appreciate you guys' concern, but, you know, don't fight back because of me. And the Atlantic soldiers pretty much goes to one knee and goes, yes, my king. So now this pisses Death Charge off. He pretty much picks up the cube and is like, you don't give the orders. I give the orders. I'm in charge. Me. That's all them sharks in his head right now. And he pretty much just throws Aquaman into a building. So now the soldiers like, screw this, attack. And they start going after Depth Charge. So Depth Charge threw him pretty hard, and now there's like a crack in the cube. And Aquaman's like, death by drowning. You gotta be kidding. So the Tempest and Robot Man show up, and they're like, all right, we gotta get you out of there. We gotta get you somewhere safe. And Aquaman's like, I don't think so. I'm not running away. I'm dying with my people. So Tempest is like, you're not thinking rationally. We need to get you somewhere safe so we can hopefully figure out a way to stop these guys so that your Atlantean brothers and sisters don't just sacrifice their lives in vain. Aquaman looks salty. The water fume is getting up to his head, and he goes, do it, as Robot Man says, deep breath, Aquaman, and he punches the cube. So now the Doom Patrol has Aquaman. He's in the ship. They get away as Depth Charge and his sharks are just wrecking shop. So then we cut to the war room of Amanda Waller. One of her people goes, hey, Depth Charge wants to get you a report. And she goes, put him on screen. So he shows up on screen and goes, it's done. Atlantis has been pacified. And she goes, excellent. The Atlanteans are going to make valuable allies. And he goes, I don't think you heard me. They have been pacified. And for the first time since Absolute Power has started, Amanda Waller looks pissed. She's like, damn it, you had one job, technically two jobs, but you were supposed to take out Aquaman and get the Atlantic people on our side. Now it looks like we're the bad guys, so now we gotta do all this cleanup to look like we weren't the bad guys. Like, oh my god. I mean, the only good thing is that if something pop off, we ain't gotta worry about the Atlantean people like coming at us or anything like that. But dude, man, you're supposed to be better than this. So where's Aquaman? And he goes, that's the other bit of bad news. And she's like, oh my god, he got away, didn't he? And he's like, yep. She's like, I should disband on you. So then we cut to Aquaman and the Doom Patrol in the Arctic, making their way to the Forces of Solitude. So now that seems like that's the end of the book. But wait, there's more. So now we cut to the Guerrero Supermax prison, where you have Sage Steele and Steve Trevor making their way to Steve Trevor's office in Quotey Fingers, which is pretty much a hole in the wall. Now, if you guys been keeping up with like the Wonder Woman series, you know that Sage Steele and Steve Trevor are not like buddies, not at all. So as they walk into the office, you see a computer that's back from like either the 80s or 90s, and he has a telephone. Yes, I said a telephone that's pretty much a landline, which if you were born in the 2000s, you even know what a landline is. And they had the nerve to actually bug the phone, which Steve Trevor shows them, like, what, you thought I was going to relay messages to Diana? So Sage Steele's like, you are smart, too smart, and backhand the hell out of him with that metal hand. So he goes, you know what, we might as well go ahead and do what we're going to do anyway. And he radios to somebody to pretty much let them know that there is another prisoner that needs to go into the Supermax.